Hey guys, in this video I'll try to explain compilers and interpreters and their pros and cons. A compiler is a specialized software program that translates high-level source code written in a programming language into machine code or an intermediate code. The process of translation is known as compilation. Think of it like this. You have your source code written in a compiled language. Then what the compiler does is it creates a separate file that contains a machine code. So this file is in executable form, meaning it can run directly on your machine. Overall, the compilation process involves converting the original code into a format that can be directly executed by a computer's central processing unit. An interpreter, on the other hand, is a specialized software program that directly executes source code written in a programming language without the need for an intermediate compiled form. Instead of generating a separate machine code file, the interpreter processes the source code line by line, translating and executing each instruction in real time. Let's use analogy, as it proves to be an effective method for grasping new ideas. Imagine you have a letter written in your language. You want to send it to your girlfriend who speaks a different language.
No girlfriend?
No.
A translator takes your letter, translates the entire content into your girlfriend's language, and hands you a new letter. Now your girlfriend can read and understand this new letter directly without needing to know your original language. In this analogy, your letter is a source code, the translator is the compiler. The final translated letter is an executable file in machine code. Now imagine you have another friend who understands both languages. Instead of translating the entire letter, your friend reads and explains each sentence to your girlfriend as they go through it. Your girlfriend doesn't need a translated letter. They can understand and respond to your original letter in real time. In this analogy, your friend is an interpreter. Reading and explaining is like interpreting and executing code line by line. There is no translated letter, which means source code is executed directly without creating a separate executable file. In summary, a compiler is like a language translator that converts your entire letter into a new language, providing a standalone translated version. An interpreter is like a friend who understands both languages and explains your letter in real time without creating a separate translated version. So, which one is the best? Well, both have their advantages and disadvantages. The benefits of compiled code are: a compiled code runs faster than interpreted code because it is translated into machine code before execution. This eliminates the need for real-time translation during program execution. Compilers also produce standalone executables that can be distributed and run independently of the original source code. The downside is executables generated by compilers are often platform dependent, meaning they may not run on different operating systems or architectures without recompilation. But interpreters are cross-platform, which means that the interpreter and the programs it executes can run on multiple operating systems or platforms without modification. It is also easier to debug when there is an error in your code, because you have access to the source code. However, the interpreter also has its downsides. To everyone who wants to run or execute the code needs to have the appropriate interpreter installed on their machine. Unlike compiled languages, where the source code is translated into machine code and distributed as a standalone executable file. Interpreted languages rely on the presence of an interpreter during runtime. It also can be slower because you have to interpret it every time the program is run. Programming languages that are typically compiled are C, C++, and Rust. Those languages are commonly associated with a compiler, while PHP, JavaScript, and Python are associated with an interpreter.